Hey, business communication students, Professor Norman here with my final check-in for the spring 2021 semester. I hope everybody's doing okay, and not just in our class where we got this team project that we're wrapping up and a couple of other final tasks, but in everything that's going on in all of your other classes with any other finals that you still have yet to complete. I just am sending the right combination of thoughts and prayers and good vibes, whatever is appropriate to your preferences. And I just hope everybody's doing okay, sincerely. I have a couple of things to share with you guys to wrap things up for our semester. I think stuff that's all pretty common knowledge at this point, but with everything going on, it's pretty easy to let it slip. At least it is for me, unless I write it down. So I've got a couple of notes written down to share with you guys. First and foremost, I just want to share the final deadline for everything, and it's May 7th. Ideally, what I would ask you to do is to have everything turned in by May 7th at noon. Around lunchtime. It doesn't have to be right at lunchtime, but the closer to lunchtime, the better, just because then if there's a problem, then it's something that I can hopefully help with. If you submit something and you realize, oh no, I didn't mean to submit that, or you hit submit too soon and it sends a blank file or something like that, you can just email me and I'll still be here. And that might not be the case if it's in the evening or even in the later afternoon. There might be some things that pull me away from campus. It's just kind of hard to say. I'll definitely be here through my office hour, which is 1 o'clock, 1 to 2. But after that, I might be gone. So the closer that you are to kind of that noon deadline, especially for the big stuff like the presentation and the interview project, if you haven't done that one yet, the better, because then I can help. So it'll help you and it'll help me. It's not a hard deadline. That's not technically until the end of the day, but just the sooner the better on that. A couple of quick follow-ups for both of those things that I just mentioned there. The interview project, thanks to everybody who's done that. That's been really good to kind of check a bunch of those off so that, if there is a big batch that come in over the next 2 days, that's great, but that means that I won't have quite as much to do. Of what I've seen so far, everything looks really good. I know it's a weird practice type assignment, so you might be kind of like, it doesn't feel like I'm doing the real thing, and that's okay. However, I will just kind of point out that these Zoom type interviews, where you're talking to a camera, and yeah, there will be somebody on the other end, hopefully. But this kind of webcam type stuff is a good indicator of what's coming. Or really what's here already. It's been this way for a couple of years. Even pre-pandemic, Zoom interviews were very, very common, or Google Meet or Skype or whatever, program you use. And so I just kind of say that to say that, it's a good idea to prepare to do that. Think about this very authentically, because you might have to do something like this for a first interview. When I was applying for the Vincennes University job, we did a lot of phone interviews, and I've done that a lot on hiring committees, but now we're making the shift to Zoom interviews, and that's just the way that it goes now. So think about it in terms of finding a good area, in your home or wherever where, things will be quiet, where you've got, a good appropriate backdrop and stuff like that. Just kind of get comfortable with a good sitting position and stuff. That's all stuff that'll help you out if you ever get into a position where you can do that, and you'll be ready to go too, so that nothing throws you off. You might not think that you're applying to a place that's going to ask you to do a Zoom interview, but again, they're so convenient sometimes that you just never know, and you want to be ready to do that, because that will be a good first impression that you're making, as opposed to the person who's all like, oh yeah, no, I can't do that, I don't know how to do that, and they're kind of like, okay, this guy is not going to be very flexible or adaptable. Little things like that go a long way, and that's just a way to stay current and modern. So interview project, just a little food for thought there. Again, thanks to everybody who's done it, and I look forward to seeing the projects that haven't come in yet. Just a reminder that there are 2 parts to that. You send me the interview responses that you gave me, and you send those through Big Interview. And then you also write the reflection. So we've had a couple of issues where some people, I think, have thought that they've gone through, or maybe Big Interview messed up and they didn't go through, whatever the case, it's not a big deal. And so if I see a reflection but no questions, I'll usually just follow up with an email saying, hey, I don't have any questions from you. Obviously, I can't do that if it's, super late in the day on Friday when you do that. The other thing that I just want to remind you about is the presentation. And again, this is one that's in progress. Some people are all done with that. Congratulations to you guys. I was just looking at a team that was able to get theirs all submitted on their own, and that's great. Submitted the MP4. Everybody was on a Zoom call, it looked like, and everybody was talking. The PowerPoint was showing, and then they submitted the PowerPoint file separately. Perfect. I can just click play and watch as if I'm there. that's great. If that's not possible for you guys, just because, you know, it's too difficult to facilitate or whatever, and I can assist with that, please get in touch soon to let me know that. And I've got a couple of appointments with teams today and tomorrow who have told me that they want to meet or meet on Zoom, and I'm glad for that. But if your team still hasn't kind of made the final determination about that, you're not 100% sure, try and figure that out as soon as possible so that I can make sure that I've got space on my calendar for you, again, ahead of noon on Friday. We really don't want to get to like Friday morning or something like that and the team realizes, oh no, we don't know what we're doing. Please, can we meet in like the next 15 minutes? Because I might not be able to, right? I don't want to leave anybody out in the cold because of this. So try to do your best to just be as prepared as possible. Remember, everybody has to be involved in it, even if it's just briefly, and we just want to be, you know, prepared. But you guys know that. Just a couple of reminders for that. And then the only other thing I would share with you guys is just a reminder of the two other kind of more minor tasks, important tasks, but minor. The status report, which is really helpful for me getting a lot of feedback from you guys about who did what, who pulled their weight, maybe who didn't, who went above and beyond, and that kind of stuff. And I want to be aware of that so that I can maybe give a couple of bonus points to somebody who really went above and beyond, or a couple of people who went above and beyond. And if there is somebody, unfortunately, who just didn't pull their weight, then, I mean, that should be reflected in their grade as well. So I want to take as much feedback as I possibly can into the consideration for that. Just a reminder about that. And then the only other thing, but it's worth 5 bonus points, so you might as well do it, is a little survey about writing process. It's all multiple choice, very easy to fill out. Won't take you more than probably a minute to do. So 5 easy bonus points for doing that, and I appreciate it. It's useful for our department's assessment projects. So that's all I've got for you guys. In wrapping up, I just want to reiterate how much I appreciate your hard work this semester. I know it's been a real challenge, especially to do the team project in a virtual setting. It's not how I like to do English 205. I'm a face-to-face teacher primarily. I hope everybody has enjoyed seeing my backdrop as it's grown over the semester. But man, I just wish I could be in the classroom with you guys. It's a real, you know, bummer to me, just being very, very honest. I love interacting with you guys. I love learning about you guys and the interesting careers and backgrounds that you guys have and that you're going to get into. That's really uplifting for me, and not being able to do that is, like I said, just a real bummer. But we persevere, right? We gotta work hard, and we just gotta do the very best that we can. And you know, the hardships are what they are. You just have to deal with it, and hopefully it makes you a little bit stronger just by way of doing it. If there's ever anything I could do for you guys, whether it's, you know, related to writing or whatever, I'm glad to do it. As I mentioned back when we did the job application project, if there's ever anything I can do to help you with that, with your resumes or applying for a position, I'm really glad to do that. Man, if I could just have some small impact on helping you to get a job, man, that would just be so great. That would really be a thrill. Always glad to be of assistance. Always glad to help. Take care. Have a great summer. If I don't talk to you again, I'll still have office hours today, Wednesday at 1, and Friday at 1, and then Thursday at 10. And I'll be grading over the weekend. Grades will go in on Monday morning at the very latest. Hopefully sooner than that. It all depends on when the projects get turned in, of course. But that's all I've got for you guys. Take care. Have a great summer. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Stay as positive as possible. And yeah, good luck.